let's talk about Beauty and the Beast. I like my crown. It's from Disney World. If you haven't seen the movie yet, I would not watch this, just in case I say anything that you don't want to hear. I love Beauty and the Beast so much. So number one, it was probably one of my very first favorite Disney movies when I was little, and then it was my very first musical I ever saw. I don't remember how old I was, but I was really little. Beauty and the Beast was my very first musical I was in high school. I did it my sophomore year. So yeah, I just have really loved Beauty and the Beast my whole life. Whenever I saw that Disney was making a live action version of the movie, I was so excited, but I was also really nervous. And the closer it got to the movie, the scarier I got to watch this film, because I was afraid that they were going to do something to it that I wasn't going to like, and it would change my mind about liking Beauty and the Beast. So I actually just came back from watching it for the second time, and shocker, I loved it. The first time I watched it, I cried the whole entire time. It just made me so happy. It made my heart so full just to be sitting in the theater as a 21-year-old, and that movie came out before I was even born, and I've loved it my whole life. And to be sitting here now today watching Beauty and the Beast in the theater was just the most surreal thing ever. The fact that it's still being celebrated and people still love this story is so exciting, and it just made me so emotional, and I literally cried the whole movie. So I have a few opinions, and I feel like mostly everybody is going to agree with my opinions, so I'm not going to say anything that's like totally bizarre. I'm going to start with the worst part of the movie, which in my opinion was the auto-tuned singing coming from some of the characters. Obviously, we went into this knowing that Emma Watson and Dan Stevens were not singers, and of course the most vocally talented people are going to be from Broadway, like duh. That's just something that we need to all understand. Honestly, if you can just look past it and focus on the visual beauty of the movie and everything about it other than the auto-tuned, you're gonna be fine. And it's not that bad, it's just something that I wish was different about the movie, but it's something that I can get over. If they really wanted to cast someone more vocally talented as Belle and the Prince, they would have. I mean, they had a reason for their casting. I'm not gonna question it. I enjoyed the casting, so yeah. Now, in my opinion, the best part of the movie was Luke Evans as Gaston. Luke Evans just stole the show. Vocally, he was just so amazing. His presence as Gaston, he pulled off that character so great. He really did a great job of taking a character that's so full of himself in a comical way. He made it this realistic character who's still full of himself, but not in an overly dramatic way. He felt more humanized. I feel like Gaston is just so over the top, and this is a really great portrayal of the character. LeFou's subplot is incredible. I loved it so much. Everything about this character. LeFou was perfect for Josh Gad. The fact that LeFou got a happy ending made me really happy, because LeFou never did anything wrong. He was just kind of there. He didn't really know what he was doing. And in the animated version, you don't really ever see what happens to LeFou. So I'm really happy that they gave LeFou a little subplot. If you're like me and you're a huge fan of the musical version of Beauty and the Beast, you will be very happy. I was really sad when I heard that the musical songs were not going to be in the movie, because in my opinion that is what makes Beauty and the Beast. The musical is fantastic, the music is amazing, and I was kind of upset about that. But there are so many touches of the musical version in the movie. A few examples: they play Home in there like 500 times. When the Beast and Belle are in the garden, the Beast is reading King Arthur. That is also from the musical. And one of the new songs, there is a line where Belle says, "A change in me," and that is a song from the musical, A Change in Me. I don't know if they even meant to do that, but I caught that. And there are tons of other little things that happen that were hinted towards the musical, and it was really cool that they did that. Another thing I really liked about the live action version of Beauty and the Beast is it helped me to understand the story more. And it's not that I didn't understand the story in the first place, but I feel like they really took that theme of beauty lies within, and they created this huge thing that just made it so much more in depth. It added to the story and it added to everything about what Beauty and the Beast is. Also, they never mentioned the prince's 21st birthday. In Be Our Guest they say 10 years we've been resting. In this one they say something like all these years we've been resting. They don't say 10 years. So they completely cut out the whole it's been 10 years and he was 12 years old when he turned away this beggar, and that doesn't make sense because he was 12, so he should have turned her away. I don't know, I just think that's really something that people have been questioning for a long time, and it helps to kind of help that make sense. I'm so happy that they took the beggar woman slash enchantress and gave her a backstory. I think that is so cool, and I'm so happy that Belle's mother is finally mentioned. We finally understand what is going on with Belle's mom, and the fact that we know that the prince does have parents because they are never mentioned in the animated version. I love the fact that they took all these little fan questions that people have been wondering for years and they gave us answers to them. Now honestly, I loved the whole movie, but once we hit Beauty and the Beast, the ballroom scene where they're dancing, and then we get to the mob song, which is my favorite song from Beauty and the Beast, and then the transformation and the reprise of Beauty and the Beast. How can you not cry? It's beautiful, amazing. I love it so much. I don't even know how to like say how much I love it. In the reprise at the very end when Audra McDaniel starts singing and then Emma Thompson starts singing and then you see everyone dancing, and it's so magical, and I feel like you don't get that in the movie. It just ends so fast. And this one, just like the way that all the enchanted objects kind of like shut down and turned into normal objects, and then the transformation happened and then they all came back to life, and I loved it so much. Like I said, this was just such a beautiful celebration of such a classic film that we all love and we all know, and it just makes me so happy that it's still being celebrated. If you haven't seen the movie and you're still watching, go watch the movie. If you've already seen the movie, go see it again. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with it. I was so nervous, and people were talking so much crap about this movie, and just the fact that it made me happy. I don't care what anybody else says about this movie. I loved it so much, and that's all that matters to me. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about this movie because if I don't, I will never stop talking about it. I hope that Disney keeps making these live action remakes. It just brings them back to the world and everyone loves them again, and everyone remembers how much they loved them as kids, and I don't see any harm in that, you know? So Disney, keep doing y'all thing. Are there any live action remakes that you guys are excited about? I heard that there's tons of remakes in the works. So what are you guys excited for? Hope you guys have a magical day, and I will see you real soon. Bye!
A Dylan Roach film.